I went there. I wanted to help him. I told him to come, walk and come to the nearby army's side, but that person is unable to walk and he is very much badly wounded and he was bleeding very badly. So he said that he not to worry about himself, but he to hand over these packet of papers to you, and these papers should reach Ambala tonight because it is very important papers which may be about our nation. So then by hearing all this thing, the commander officer said, "Son, weren't you afraid of the enemy?" And he said, "Oh, you're so little, and don't you get afraid about the enemy?" And he said, "My father told me never to be afraid of the enemy. They can't do anything if our number is not written on the bullet." Then he said, "So my father has said that we should not afraid of the enemy. Why? Because they can't do anything. They can't do anything if our number is not written on the bullet. If my number is written on the bullet, surely I am going to die. If my number is not written on the bullet, I will not die and I have to live for the nation and I have to die for the nation." By hearing these words, commander gets very happy. Then he said, "Good, you are indeed the brave son of a brave soldier. Has the enemy been able to catch the pilot?" Then he said, "Okay, then you are so good and you are so brave, and I am very proud of you, my boy, because you are a brave son of a brave soldier who taught you so many good things." So, yeah, and again he asked, "Is there any possibilities of catching that pilot?" Then he said, "I don't know, sir. I couldn't wait to see. I had to carry out my orders first." Then he said, "I didn't see, sir, because I am very much hurry to give you this or papers to you because these are the orders passed by the pilot. Then I know where he fell. I also know where the enemy's lines are. I can guide you to it by a shortcut so that you can intercept them and cut off their retreat. We must go at once, sir. The enemy came on foot. If you take jeeps, you will be able to surround them and catch them." Then he said, "Okay, I know where he fell. I have an idea where the pilot has been landed over there. And also I know where the enemy's lines are, where the enemies are attacking him or maybe coming surrounding him. Then I will guide you in a shortcut so that you'll be able to go and catch them and send them back. So you should be very hurry because the enemies are very much near to that pilot." Then what did the commanding officer say? "Instructions noted, sir. Action will be taken," smiled the commanding officer, as if the boy is a sir to the commanding officer, that he said, "I will take you, and if you are coming in the jeeps, it is very much better to surround the place and catch them very easily." So he's in the way how he is saying, he said that instructions noted, sir. That means as if he is the commander and commanding person is the Sipai. He said that action will be taken. So in a smiling manner. After few minutes, after few minutes later, the group of enemy, excuse me, few minutes later, the group of enemy soldiers found themselves surrounded by jeeps. There were no escape. One of them started to run, but realized that it was of no use. Throwing down his gun, he raised his hands above his head. The enemy was rounded up and the pilot rescued. He was bleeding, for he had been dragged along when he failed to rise and walk even when propped with bayonets. He was muttering something incoherently, "Boy, packet." He could say no more. The pilot was taken to the military hospital at once. Then what happened? By following the boy, they have reached in a shortcut and surrounded the enemy soldiers with the help of the jeeps. There was no escape, and all of them started running, but they realized that there is of no use because all over the place has been surrounded by the soldiers, and they have been caught over there, and that the enemy was rounded up and the pilot was rescued. Rescued means saved. So all the enemies were rounded up, and the pilot, who has been wounded very badly, he has been saved, and he was bleeding, for he had been dragged along with when he failed to rise and walk even when probed with bayonets. That means those enemies dragged the pilot because he is unable to walk. So they wanted to drag him and take him to their place. But in the meanwhile, our soldiers have surrendered all of them, and they have been the pilot has been rescued and the enemies have been caught. Then by even he was unconscious, he was saying something, boy packet, and he could say no more, nothing he was about to say, because he became unconscious and he was taken to the military hospital at once. So children, this is all about today's class. In the next class, I am going to continue. Take care, stay home, stay safe.